Setting
All
up
right,
live
Jake.
stream now. I think it's working. Cool.
It's I've been streaming to YouTube, so I would, hope so. Alrighty, is this also recording? I can fire one ready.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I was just firing the live stream over to here. And yeah, whenever you are ready, I can hit record. I'm assuming you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Welcome, everyone, to our dozens and millions of fans across the world to the 12th and final elimination ceremony to conclude the 10th season of Power Grab All Stars. Of course, I think an elimination ceremony is a bit of a misnomer for this. Nobody's being eliminated here. We're celebrating two people's games and deciding which one's better. This is your final tribal council. Amy, Karen, congratulations on being here. You both look exquisite this evening. You have survived pizzas, Aegises, hidden immunity idols, wheels, battlebacks, forum calls, super idols, and of course, your 11 other castaways to make it to this point in the game. You two may have used your influence cunning and a fair bit of luck to get to this point, but now that power shifts to the hands of the jury. Tonight, 11 people who you directly or indirectly had a hand in eliminating from this game, or power fucked, or wheeled out, they will be the ones to decide your fate. To do so, they're equipped with the experience they had playing with you in the game, the information they've shared with one another on the jury, your opening statements, and of course, tonight, what we're all here for, where they'll have the opportunity to make statements and ask questions of you. The two of you have made herstory and power grab, but tonight will determine which one of you outwitted, outplayed, outlasted, and outpower grabbed the rest. With that, we'll turn it over to our retroactive first boot, which is Hutch. Hutch, you have 10 minutes for asking questions. You'll see the timer count down in the top right.
What's up, ladies? How are you guys doing? Okay, so I have two paths I wanted to go tonight, and I couldn't quite figure out which one it is. So I'm actually going to let you guys have the opportunity. And so I have two questions and two cards here, and I'm going to let you guys pick which one you want to go with. So I got question A, which is the easy question, and I got question B, which is the hard question. Some people play these games with a little bit of emotion and they don't really like to be attacked or anything, especially at finale night. And so I did want to give an easier question if you aren't ready for that one yet, but I do have a question that's a little bit more tough if you do want to get into it and try to earn a vote. I want you guys to both know that going into the quiz, I told Prod I would say Cody probably has a 40% chance, and both Karen and Amy both have a 30% chance a shot a piece kind of thing. And then Cody's gone. And so I genuinely am sitting here not knowing which way to go with this and not knowing how to approach it. And so I'm going to let you guys go. And so which one of you guys want to go first? And do you want question A or B? Both of you guys have the exact same two questions. And so you can both have the same one or different questions. Up to you.
I'm fine either way if you have a preference, Amy.
No preference. If I did a question, I do like A for my name for initial, but I will go with B for the harder question because I don't mind to have emotions get thrown out. So
Perfect. I love that. I'll let you go with second then, and Karen, I'll let you go first. So which one do you want, A or B?
I'll also take B. Might as well get into it.
Perfect. Love that. All right. Question B. This is for both of you guys, and just know that I play the game as Hutch because whenever I'm Steve, I try to be a nice guy, I try to show respect, blah blah blah. But whenever I'm Hutch, I don't have to. So this is my question. Okay. All right. So I didn't see either one of your games either way. I played the season 7 with Amy. Amy, you are a powerhouse in season 7, straight up. You were my biggest competition by far, enough that I sniped you from phase 1 into phase 2. Coming into this game, I did not play with the same Amy from season 7 as I played with in season 10. I'm perplexed by that, and I don't know if that's due to strategy. I don't know what the reason is between that. With Karen, I don't remember a single conversation that you and I had in the entire game. Like, not a single one. I don't know what the reason is on that one. And so I didn't see either one of your games, and I don't know if that was for a reason. So I need you guys to both tell me what I missed. Like, what did I not see about your games? Because currently sitting here, I see both of you guys there with nothing but luck on your side, no blood, and no like merit in the end game. And so like I have the heartstrings towards Amy of saying I played with you, but I also didn't see the same lady I played with. So I'm struggling to give it to you on that aspect. So you got 3 minutes and 15 seconds apiece. Please go ahead and Karen.
So I didn't really talk with you, and I had a much slower start to the game. And the thing that you didn't see was the foresight and the ability to read the circumstances that I had. I saw people setting their stake in hard and fast. I saw the people who were going to be making the calls, throwing out the names, really driving it. And based off my past experience, I have gotten caught up in it and ended up being power fucked. And I wanted to give myself the step back to observe and not get caught up in that. And I think I did end up doing that well. My name ended up staying out of the shuffle. People ended up flipping off of it when it was brought up in later rounds. And I had the guidance and like vision of what was going on the both sides to be able to make my quiet moves and pull my luck out when I needed to. I feel like I should say more, but that also kind of sums it up pretty okay. But yeah, I had a lot of intent and was really looking at all the scenarios and knew, like I said, I don't need my main character syndrome. My moment is getting here to the end and like being able to tell the whole story. I don't need the big flashy moves every round to get here.
Okay, Amy.
Hutch, I think you didn't get to see the same Amy because I wanted to go a different path. I didn't want to work hand in hand with you just because we had just worked together and every game to me is different. I did want to work potentially with you, but not align with you one-on-one. The last game we talked about everything, and with that, because of that, you kind of cut me, right? So I was going to choose different sides. I was still a target in this game a couple rounds. I was doing a lot of the same things, just not a lot of the same things with you. I did want to take somewhat of a backseat a little bit. The last time I was put as a target just because of the Kristen and Jenny, even though I kept at me screaming from the roofs, it's not true, it's not true, it's not true. This season, I did go into it a little bit more hesitant. I did think that I was going to be a target yet again for potential past relationships. Me, you, and Stoner were all playing the same season. So I was afraid that we were going to get linked up again together and I was maybe going to get thrown out because of relationships that were there, but not really game wise. When it came down to it, I chose Stoner over you. So when the powers and it was you or him that night, I definitely was pushing more for you. No offense, I love you, but Stoner was my guy. I would have wrote it out to him with him till the end had he not got so paranoid and kind of spun out of control. I think one of my moves, and Kevin can speak to this more, I don't even know if it made a difference or not. My power in the first season and the first phase said that I could see if somebody was lying. I could screenshot a conversation and send it to Prod. Prod would tell me if that was a lie or a truth. So several people knew that I had that character. I never activated it, but I did tell several people that I used it. For example, the Stoner vote, I knew he was going to get blindsided that night. I knew he was the target. People eliminated his team. People were they wanted to do it. They didn't believe that he had the super idol, but I do think people were potentially hesitant because the possibility he might have something. So I told Kevin, let me use my power to see if he actually has a super idol. I didn't actually use it because it would have given me an actual self vote, not a self vote, but a vote towards me. I came back to Kevin and I said, he does not have a super idol. I just verified with my power. Do what you will with that. Again, I don't know if he told anybody or not, but Stoner going was better for my game. The other blood I did get on my hand, unfortunately, was Zach. We had that plan in motion between Kevin and I. Made it a little bit more challenging with Kevin going to the LRG. I was kind of playing with who my closest ally was, but was non-existent at the time. So we had talked about these powers, we talked about different contingencies, but it was up to me to basically carry out that plan for Kevin and I. So I think that's kind of that. The other blood I did have is Chris-Ann. I didn't push for that vote, but I did go that way, even though she was the only one that didn't lie to me. So I was willing to pretty much cut anybody in the game at that time. So thanks.
Perfect. I just have one quick question, like on your hands kind of thing. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being just can't believe it kind of thing. How much did luck play a role in you getting here? I just want to see how you guys adapt to your game kind of thing. So
I'd say a genuine 50-50. There were rounds where I really, really benefited from it, but I don't think I was going to be out next without it. And it's just that little bit of edge that pushes you forward that you need to get further the next round and the next round. Like, I don't think the biggest one would have been the Zach bounty probably. And even then that helped in the end with the quiz, but I studied my ass off too. So I think it helped, but my game is not reliant on the luck. It's reliant on how smart I was with the dumb luck.
Honestly, I would say 60-40. I think this game is somewhat luck, but somewhat skill. I mean, you can't have comps to, get you to the next round to have that immunity and stuff. You do kind of have to rely on people, but it is luck. It's, the different powers. Did you play things correctly? You could have made it to the end, had something potentially changed in one round. You know what I mean? Like every round is different. So maybe the luck's on my side. I don't know. I honestly did not see myself being here at the final two. I knew I was flying out yesterday and I thought I was just going to be a juror. So I didn't really think that, I didn't actually see myself in final two until maybe final five, that it may even been a possibility.
Also, I didn't want to interject, but I'm really bad at math and realize 50-50 is not the flex that I thought it was. I don't think luck had more of a way in my actual gameplay, so whatever.
I just want to say you both absolutely deserve it, and congratulations. I absolutely know how hard this game is, and you both absolutely killed it. Best of luck. Love you both. Bye.
Wow, talk about someone with blood on his hands, even though none of it came while playing the game. Hutch, give him a hand. He's only got one. All right, on now to our next juror. This was unfortunately someone who, I was going to have to fake an accent for, and we're not going to have to do that mercifully. Chris-Ann, please, the floor is yours.
First of all, I strongly believe LJ would have had a great Jamaican accent. Can everyone hear me? Yep. Okay. So I wrote something, so I'm just gonna read what I wrote. So first, I want to say congratulations to you both. I don't know if forcing a female winner was done on purpose, and I don't care. I love it either way. Now I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm voting based on my interactions with both of you, how I felt the person that I eventually vote for interacted with me and the effort that they put in with me. It might be completely different from my fellow jurors, but it's my vote, so I'll do what I please. I'm not above being corrected, so if I do say something that you think is wrong, please feel free to, tell me the truth. I don't want my ass kissed. Perception is a huge theme in these games, and while I may have perceived something differently, you both probably did as well. I have a couple of questions, so let's get that out of the way. First, for Amy, congratulations again. You definitely redeemed yourself from your first season. During the round, I met my demise. We had a good conversation. Well, I thought we did. And I was honest with you and gave you the full lowdown of what I was thinking, how I thought things were going, basically mapping up what I thought was going on in the game, what had happened the round before. And I genuinely wanted to work with you, and I thought that we were building good rapport, and I was very excited for what we could have been potentially in the future, which is why I told you straight up that I was going to will to you, because I've been in a position in games where like I thought I was working really close with someone and it was very one-sided. And when you came to me and you said that you felt some type of way about Zach and that whole situation, I felt for you. And I really, 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 at that point, just wanted to see what you and I could have done together. Throughout the day, I think I told you straight up that I'm not going to be surprised if I'm voted out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to catch votes. And you kept on reassuring me. I was told that I was the vote, but I didn't need to be told because I'm not dumb. And even though we're playing an online game, I definitely could sense the vibes. So I was told that I was going to be the votes. As you see, it changed literally nothing. Nothing changed. I still got voted out. Here, let me get back to my speech because I went off track. Yeah, so that was just my little rant about that. When I got to the edge, I was racking my brain. I was thinking, who voted me out? Who could have known about it? And like, I'm not gonna lie, in my head, I'm like, fucking Karen again. And after like a couple of days, I was like, no, I don't think Karen voted me out. And up till when you put that video, I didn't think you voted me out either. So that did sting just a tiny bit, but it's okay. I'm gonna move to Karen. Congratulations. You already know I am a fan. I've been a fan. I will keep being a fan. Um, I think I got to see a good side of you in this game. I think I got to see a bit of the game that you were playing, where you were headed with your game, just for like the 3 rounds that I was around. After you've answered like the 2 questions that I have for you, or sorry, the 1 question that I have for you, I want you to shed light on your social game with people that you didn't necessarily trust or you didn't want to work with or you didn't think you could work with. And then this is a question that I actually have. It seemed like you lost a lot of allies throughout the game, well, at least people who seem to have a direct line to talking and strategizing with you. How did you continue the stream of information you were getting from other players that you weren't initially working with or keen on working with?
And that was me, right?
Yeah, Karen.
So after you went, I was devastated because I was locked in and ready to fuck shit up and kept trying to tell you not to be paranoid and worry about Stoner and that we would work our way out of it. But after I lost you, knew Stoner had to go, but with Stoner going, had to get locked in with other people. There was the old school tribe, and I was really set with them. Like, I really trusted Zach and Aaron and Kevin at that point, but Zach and Aaron specifically. And then once Aaron went, like that was a hit, but that just locked me in even tighter with Zach. And he was a really big bridge to helping start those conversations then with Jackie and Cody and other side and whatnot to form more, what's the word? Lines, more schemes to actually formulate. And whether we went with it or not, it kept the conversation going and made it feel like it could open up if we needed it to. So I did rely on other people having the more direct conversations, but I was always getting that information and still picking up when I needed to jump in. So people still felt good with me, didn't think I was just straggling along, thought they could approach me if they needed to pull me in. Because it got to the point too where people were talking with me about Zach. Like Cody and I talked heavily about shit towards the end too, and about just where we needed to go. And I think it also, like, Amy's still here, and the fact that I never lied to Amy, and once I saw people continuously lying to her and pissing her off, like I said, I knew the one thing I needed to do to keep a good ally was to not lie to her at least, and I was able to tell Amy enough, make it the truth, and still work with her, even if we weren't each other's number ones.
Yes. Okay, and the other question, yeah, so shed light on your social game with people you didn't necessarily like, trust, or like they weren't like the first person that you would like say, oh, I can't wait to work with that person type thing.
I try to keep a general approach. I can be a little timid though, so when the connection isn't right there and jumping in, I do get lazy and don't keep knocking at the door. So like I can admit that I dropped those conversations and didn't put forth the biggest social front that I could have, and did kind of fall into the sides and talking more with who I was actually going to work with. Like Paige, we had one call. And it was great, like really enjoy Paige as a person, but I knew we weren't actually talking game and we weren't. We were dancing around each other at that point. So instead of having multiple of those conversations, I would focus on the smaller conversations with real strategy.
Okay. Um, Amy, you during that round three that we talked, you made it seem like you were constantly being left out, like lied to, and just generally upset that you weren't being included in majority of the moves. And you definitely, I don't know, can you tell me if you were being dramatic about it to gain sympathy, or were you just that was just your raw emotions in the moment?
I don't think I was trying to be dramatic. It was definitely I speak very bluntly and I speak very openly. So that is how I felt. Was I all emotional and distraught if I got voted out next? Not necessarily. I play these games to have fun. Was I a little upset that Zach was not my number one? A little bit. It hurt. It stung a little bit. I did want to work with you. I felt like we were building a connection, and originally you were not the vote. But Paige came back to a group that I was finally included in. So I just wanted to be included into things. And for your vote out, I was included into a group. I got thrown into an alliance chat. And it was either between Karen or you. Everybody thought, and I don't know why, but everybody thought we need Fabi's
I
vote.
still think they should have got rid of Karen, but it's fine. We
I mean,
won't talk the
that would have
person.
been preference. I love Karen, but that would have been my preference because I did have a genuine connection with you over Karen at that time. But everybody thought we needed Fabi or Fabi's vote. And Paige was the only one to talk to that individual. And when she came back to the group, she said he would only vote for you. So we felt like you were the only vote that we could get the numbers on. I didn't like it, but I was working closely with Stoner. He was at that time my closest ally, who was spinning out of control and constantly being a target. So at that time, I was trying to do what I could to save the people, the person, not people, but the person I felt I was working closest with. Had you made it a little bit further, I think me and you would have connected a lot more and potentially been closer than even me and Stoner.
Yeah, I heard about the consequences of me being voted out, and I'm not mad about it. Not gonna kiss anyone's ass. So anyways, good luck everybody. Have a nice night and congratulations. I'm very happy that it's gonna be a female winner either way.
Thank you, Chris. And no, geez. We know. All right. And now I think this is looking down the lineup. Yeah, this is probably the starkest vibe shift of the night. We're going from Chris Ann, one of the loveliest, sweetest people you'll ever hope to meet, to the person who the last time I saw it took an army of people with their fingers on the mute button to corral him. I give you Stoner. 10 minutes is yours.
Yo, what's poppin', pretty ladies? Congrats on Final 2. Sorry about my little drunk night. I don't drink, that's why I smoke. All right, let's get to the game. All right, I'm gonna do a fun one. We got to be quick, so I don't really want explanations. But you guys can give me a couple words, give me maybe a sentence or two on why, but nothing too crazy. So we're gonna do a little bit a fun game. Tell me what each member of the jury, what Survivor player they remind you of, and just a quick reason why. We'll start with Hutch, and Karen, you can start first. If you don't watch Survivor, go off of what you studied for the quiz, what you learned in this game.
Well, I would just say Hutch got the appropriate powered card based off the powers that were available with Russell Hantz from what I've seen. Man plays with his whole heart and is a bat out of hell and would have been someone to watch and would have been someone to do something big if he had been in longer.
All right, thank you, Karen. Amy, Hutch.
To me, Hutch is almost like Tony. He is such a powerhouse, but he's also chaotic. I think of him on like Winners of War, like just running around like crazy, like taken to the beach and like no fucks given. Like I'm going to find an idol. Like that's how I see Hutch playing every single show.
All right. All right. Now, Chris Ann. Amy, you can start us this time.
Chris Ann, I didn't get to know as well as I'd like to. I think just I can't even think of a player off the top of my head, but somebody that is more quiet and sweet. But I can't think of like an ideal person that can align with her, but just somebody quiet and sweet in the backgrounds for me.
All right. Karen, Chris Ann.
Again, I think the power cards were really appropriate, and she is a Cerie, often, maybe not often, but a robbed goddess on occasion, someone to watch out socially, a fucking smooth talker who will convince you her idea is the right idea and you want to go with her.
All right. All right. Now myself. Karen, go ahead.
Oh God, Stoner. Who's the craziest fucking Survivor player? I don't even know. Tony with the llama sound. Like, I'm really trying to think. You're someone absolutely intoxicating to watch. Oh, actually, you're Debbie. We'll give you Debbie. You're always saying shit and you're always super paranoid and it's always entertaining.
All right. All right. Thank you, Karen. Amy, myself.
I love you, but you kind of remind me of I'm blanking out on his name, but the one that the gentleman that was constantly going crazy and Boston Rob's like pull along.
Philip Shepard.
Philip, I think you're super wild and crazy and fun like him, and you wanted to make power moves, and unfortunately you couldn't, and that made you a target just like Philip was. And I just think you're adorable. I think Philip is not really loved, but I love you. But yeah, I think you're crazy like he is.
All right. All right. Thank you. All right. Now, Aaron. Amy, go ahead and start us off.
Unfortunately, I don't know Erin that well. We only started connecting like the boat before she went out. So I would think, if anything, I would think she was a Cherie, kind of sitting in the corner. Sounded like she was very social with other people, was not with me. Potentially somebody that could get it to the end and just could run this game if need be.
All right. Karen, Aaron.
I'm going to say someone like Tina, just honest gameplay, and people really respect that and really thoughtful with it and can usually do really well.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Karen. All right. Now, Paige. Karen, you can start us.
Paige is someone like, God, I feel like maybe a Sandra, maybe a Sophie, like someone, Kim, and Kim's like first season, not Winners at War Kim, like she has a plan and she's gonna fucking make it happen, and she has 5 other plans in case that plan doesn't work, and she knows exactly where she needs all of her pieces to be, and she's going to place them there.
All right. Thank you, Karen. All right. Amy, Paige.
I always saw Paige as poverty. Like she's a strong fucking independent woman, taking charge nonstop. Didn't care if she was a target or not, doing things behind the scenes, wrangling people when the least wrangled, people that nobody else wanted to work with. That was her.
All right. Thank you, Amy. All right. Now, Al. Amy, start us off.
Al, unfortunately, I tried to work with them and then they went out and then they went to Rocks. So I don't have a character, unfortunately, for Al because didn't get very little time with them.
Okay. No problem. All right. Karen, Al.
I feel like Al, I don't know, it's going to be an insult, but all I can think of is like a Cochrane, but someone like that with like the love of the show and the deep understanding of it. But Al's also like really good at challenges. I just like can't think of anyone without it being a stupid dude bro like Ozzy, but someone like that, you know?
All right.
I
All
think
right. Now,
with their luck, Francesca. That was who I would say. With Al's luck is Francesca.
all right. All right. Now we're gonna do Fabi. Karen, start us off.
Fabi. Fabi, like a sugar, hanging out, has people to talk. Wait, sugar didn't really have people to talk to. I don't know. Fabi's a quiet one.
All right. All right. No worries. Amy, Fabi.
Ooh, Bobby and I had a love-hate relationship. I tried, I don't know, I would say one of the Survivor players that decided to go on a when they got reward and got drunk. Pick any of them. That is Bobby, in my opinion.
Big Tom.
Big Tom
Alright.
it is, then.
All right, Amy. Start us off with Jackie.
Jackie would be also another Suri the first season. So did not seem like she knew a lot about Survivor, but went into this with her whole heart. Didn't give a fuck if she wasn't a super fan. The person that just got off the couch. That's who I see it as, not the later Suri, but the earlier Suri.
All right, thank you, Amy. All right, Karen, Jackie.
I would say Jackie is like a new age Survivor player. So someone like Soda or even like a Venus, just a big fucking character and constantly talking in a good way. But yeah, so new age Survivor, definitely.
All right, and Karen, you go ahead and start us off with Zach.
Oh, sweet baby Zach. Oh my God, it is Zach. Zach is, we'll say Tyson because he's so fucking snarky, but people love him for it. The ones that love him and the ones that don't, he doesn't give a fuck and he's gonna be scheming and he's always thinking about himself and doing what he can to be on top.
Okay. All right, Amy, Zach.
I think Zach to me reminds me more of Cochran. Somebody in the back that is coming up with so many manipulative plans, getting the ears of certain people, never really making themselves a target. And a lot of people don't know and underestimate how fucking good they are at this game and how much control they have until it's potentially too late and they're the only ones left standing.
All right, thank you. All right, Amy, Kevin, start us off.
Oh, Kevin's my buddy. I'm trying to think. Kevin is a powerhouse. I think Kevin could be a Yule. He is lovable by almost everybody. He's a powerhouse in the game. And even if he is a threat, people tend to target people around him versus him because they're so nervous to target actually them.
All right, thank you, Amy. All right, Karen, Kevin.
I would say Yule's really good, or like Malcolm, again, powerhouse and just so fucking hot. Good at
All right.
challenges.
All right, thank you. All right, Karen, Cody, go ahead.
Cody, I'm trying to think. Cody is also crazy, also someone who's constantly thinking. He's not like a Boston Rob, like he's more fluid than that. And I'm just literally at my wit's end now of options. Maybe he's like a counter to Boston Rob and like a Lex. And again, I'm just stuck on the last 25 characters we've been thinking about, but he can be chaotic, but not without a lot of thought to it.
All right, are they Karen? All right, Amy, Cody.
Cody, my first character I thought of was Lex. I think he would do things for friends like Lex did with Boston Rob. And unfortunately, he also, because of his caring heart and stuff like that, really wanted to do well, but I think got cut or backstabbed, even though he tried to do good things for good people.
All right, real quick, 15 seconds each. Amy, who is Karen? And why? Real quick.
Oh, Karen, I see as Sandra.
Why?
Just because, I mean, she didn't give a fuck, at least to me, who went out as long as it wasn't her.
All right, Karen, who's Amy? Why? Hey, Karen, you're muted, Karen.
Amy is, we'll say Cass, because she didn't ever feel super connected, but she wasn't afraid to make the moves when they presented themselves, and she wasn't afraid to be a badass woman.
All right, good luck so much.
Executed 10-minute spot by Stoner. Who the fuck saw that coming? Not me. All right. Up next, we have I hope I'm right, a soon-to-be hot mama, at least. Erin, please take it away.
Hello, congratulations, Karen and Amy, on making it this far. Awesome that it is a female final too. Love to see that. So I also want to say, congratulations. I think both of you played maybe not the most out there games, which I know Karen in particular, that like sort of goes against everything, like all of your instincts. And so I really appreciated your opening speech kind of going through that and how intentional you were about that. And I think it's definitely something that I value from both of you, the way that you played subtly. Amy, as you mentioned, we didn't really start talking until just before I went out, but you had managed to do enough that even though I knew it was a smarter move to put votes on you rather than Paige, because Paige was going to buy the Aegis, I was like, no, I'm going to be able to outbid her for it, and I have a better chance of working with Amy. So like I think that you did a good job of like putting in just enough effort with me that you kept yourself safe. So subtle moves like that I really appreciate. So I did have one clarifying question for you, Amy. When you were answering Hutch's question, you said you were talking about choosing between Hutch and Stoner on the vote when Hutch went out, and you said that you were wanting Hutch to go out rather than Stoner. But if I'm remembering correctly, I don't think you knew about the Hutch vote, because I think that was something that you ended up being pretty upset with Zach in particular and others for being left out of that vote. So can you just maybe clarify what you meant by that?
Yeah, so Chrisanne actually told me earlier that people were debating over Hutch and Stoner. Obviously, they didn't come to me and ask for me to vote out Hutch, and they didn't come to me to vote out Kevin. Honestly, I would have voted out either one had somebody come to me about a plan, but I did know that people were debating over Stoner versus Hutch. I personally would have wanted Hutch to go over Stoner if I had that choice. So yes, I was not in on that plan. I knew that was a potential, and I did want Hutch over Stoner. I did not vote either way because no solid group came to me, but Chrisanne did come to me with that relationship and said, everybody's lying to you. We're debating over these two, and this is the way I'm voting. So I knew if she was voting that way, then probably other people were too.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that. So my question for both of you is, as we all know, the early part of the game was very much divided in this sort of like fake old school, new school, that there were a couple people that were putting that in place, and the rest of us were sort of like, this is not what we want, but okay, this is what we're doing, I guess. So can you talk to me about how you either helped construct that narrative, or how you worked inside that narrative, or how you worked to deconstruct that narrative to make it work for you? Karen, I'll let you start out this one.
Yeah, after it was brewing and just the few conversations I had had, once I heard the rumors and whatnot, everyone was whispering about it. The actual then game talks I was having and able to foster were with the old school people. So I leaned in. Where I normally would want to be more open and chaotic, I leaned into the side without making a group or anything, but still prioritizing those people. And even our relationship, specifically Aaron, when we've played together before, we're never against each other. We're more working alongside each other until a certain point because we're so different. And I leaned into that. I was like, I'm just going to throw it all at Aaron and be totally honest with her and ask her very candidly when things are happening, what she would want to do and like what she thinks, to help make sure that was an actual strong relationship and not just a facade of a group that would fall apart the second something random happened with the power in a round. And yeah, and still talking with the other side, but yeah, I definitely leaned in more than I would have and expected to, and I think it paid off with those connections then.
Thank you. And then did you do anything to try and work out of it as people started leaving?
Yes, after you left and like going into phase 2, after Al left, it was like, okay, so the new old school, which was old school plus Amy instead of you at that point, I knew like I don't like pagonging. I don't like just sticking to a side and riding it out. And as convenient as it would be to like have an Aegis war at 4, whatever, like this is power grab. And that's when I started trying to have more conversations with Jackie, with Cody, to put things out there and see where that wiggle room could be.
Thank you. Amy, same question. How did you either help create that structure, work within that structure, work to dismantle the structure?
So I definitely didn't create it. I heard it was happening. I was working with both Hutch and then Cody a little bit, but I wasn't working necessarily with them, but that's who I was getting it kind of filtered to me. Zach really was the person that I connected with. I felt like on day one, he was the one that I wanted to share all information with. So I took that information. It could have screwed me over if you guys actually did have a chat. And I gave him all the information of what people were saying about this group. I wanted to dismantle the whole old school versus new school because I know what it's like to play with people that you're just kind of thrown together and you kind of have to play together. That's what happened in my last season. I was pushed together because I knew people, not necessarily because I wanted to work with them or I was working with them. So I wanted to fight against that. I wanted to try to break the barriers. And if I went out because of it. I didn't care. Now I did end up in the end working with the old school because they're the ones that technically saved me because they voted Paige out when Paige and stuff like that tried to vote for me. So I leaned into the I'm going to replace Aaron. It's going to be old school plus Amy. So that's literally what I was going to name our chat. And I told them I have the OG down. I have the true old down because I'm one of the older players. So that's how I leaned into it afterwards. I had no allegiance to old school, new school, didn't matter. I tried to break it, but I did what I could and navigated around it.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, that is all the questions I had. So good luck to both of you and see you at the end.
First wardrobe change of the night. Thank you, Aaron. I personally was praying someone would ask that question. I've been confused too. It was great to hear. Now we'll move on to the final boot from phase one. She is the personality hire who is also the proofreader in chief. I give you Paige. Paige, the floor is yours.
Hello. So Karen, you should know this question is coming because you know LJ. And I have to ask, what's my cat's name?
Archer.
Not even slightly close. I won't ask Amy because I feel like any personal questions I ask Amy, she has an unfair advantage because we've known each other for a year and have hung out in San Antonio. Something that I'm just going to be fully frank on a couple of things. One way to not get my vote. Stop acting like the old school, new school thing was solid because Hutch and I made that up with the intention of flipping between both sides. And then one of the sides wouldn't work with us, especially when Hutch offered to send Stoner money. So it was not something that was set in stone and nobody was pushing you out. We were all trying to work with y'all and nobody would work with us. There's various reasons why people wouldn't work with me. It's fine, whatever, don't care. But that's a way to not get my vote. Karen, I want to vote for you, but I just have not seen enough. When you talked about not socializing with people, you talked about Hutch and you said because there was this kind of strategic element to get you further, right? But Amy made it here and she talked to every person on the jury. And then when you talked about it again, you said you were lazy. So why should I give my vote to somebody who's admitting their social game is worse than somebody who was able to strategically make it to the end and still talk to people?
Because I might not have had as many conversations as Amy did, but the ones I did amounted to more and had more direction and insight into the game. I was lazy and timid in the sense where you and I were going to dance around on a call, and that was me being cagey. That was you being cagey. The side wasn't working. I didn't want to fall into a trap and give someone information where it flipped on me. So that's where that comes up. But yeah, because I didn't have as many conversations, but the ones I did ended up mattering and giving me the information that I needed to know what I needed to do with my game to end up here.
Okay, cool. I want to know between both of you, out of the 11 people who ended up on the jury, how many votes do you think you were in on, in the sense that when you went into EC, you knew that this person was, even if you didn't vote for them, that they were probably going home out of the 11? Amy, do you want to go first? Doesn't have to be a specific number, just ballpark.
I would say it was more the ones towards the end, maybe 5 to 7.
Okay.
I'd have to math is I have to try to everybody, but yes, 5 to 7.
Totally good. Karen?
I mean 5, 6, just off the top of my head. Okay. The first one had no fucking idea.
No, neither did we. Cool. Karen, why didn't you, from what I understand in your video, your entry, you didn't play either of your powers, is that correct? Why not?
So the Natalie power, the way it worked, if I knew who was going out and activated it by 9 p.m., if they went out, they got to have whoever had their bounty and whoever was their will, they actually took that money.
Okay.
I never knew by 9 p.m. for sure who. And then by the second round, when I realized I'm never going to fucking know, I knew it was better to just bank that going into phase 2. And I knew what the battle back comp was, regardless of if I played it. And then phase 2, it was an altering power. So I had fake votes, but they counted as extra votes, but they couldn't change the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I had to do math to activate it. So not sure I would have ever even activated it, but knowing that chancing it and not being able to activate it. And then once I did not feel like there was enough openness to risk my spot, blurring the lines, putting it out there that something fucky is going on and people looking at me then and what else I'm going to do or what I'm really doing. And again, knew I could just bank it and pray to God for phase 3.
And Amy, you talked about your phase 1 power. Super hot of you to manage to avoid getting an extra vote on you. Did not realize that element. I love that. What was your phase 2 power and did you play it?
I did not play my phase 2 power. To me, threatening that I used it. So my phase 2 power was I had to play it by noon. It was the first of its kind, and I had to basically throw a party for somebody. So I just had to name that. So, and then I had to get that person on a forum call before 9 o'clock to stay there for 30 minutes, which after EC would have been easy. During the day, it would have been a little bit harder. Had I got that person on the call for 30 minutes of the hour that I was throwing the party, that person, any votes cast against me from that person through the entire season did not count. The other thing is whoever else showed up to the party for 30 minutes, also their votes did not count at that EC that night.
Got it.
So I thought about potentially using it early on. So I would have one person that could not vote for me no matter what. It was just challenging to be able to wrangle everybody's schedules the way it was. So I used it for potentially later on when it was final 5, final 4. And what I did is I actually threatened it with Karen and with Cody. We got on a call. I said, let's have a party. Let's celebrate that we made it to final 4. Kevin's not here. He can't join us. This is my power. I'm sorry, I have to be honest. So if you guys vote, I trust you both that you're voting Kevin, but if just so you know, this was my power and I'd rather go out swinging in case you lied to me, any votes. And I think that potentially shifted Cody from voting against me to voting Karen, even though she was probably going to buy the Aegis. He was nervous about my power.
And then you still got to keep your money.
Yes.
That's very interesting. Cool. Amy, the thing that I quote the most in org communities is after the disastrous season of Survivor Vanquish, in which I had a full-blown emotional breakdown. Also, if I had a nickel for every time I played a game with you and then ended up being a pre-merge boot only due to a battle back that, I mean, I lost the first battle back. I chose not to participate in this one for various reasons. I would have 2 nickels, which is like not a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. But after that game, I asked you, as a senior org player, how you as a strong woman lower your threat level. And I don't know if you remember what you told me, but you said, fuck it, they're going to think you're a threat anyway. Don't try to lower your threat level. Do you think you took your own advice in this season and had a large threat level? Do you think you lowered your threat level, or do you think you did not have the autonomy to be a bigger threat in the game?
I think it was a little bit of all of those. So it depends on which phase it was. I definitely think that I had to have had some type of threat level because I got votes, right? I got votes on at least 2 ECs, whether I was the threat because people didn't want to go after the people I was working with, like Kevin, but so I was the easier vote. It still made me a target. There were times that I did lower my threat level. People like you and Stoner and Hutch, like you guys were going out back to back to back, and you guys were making power moves and being like very aggressive in your play.
And sexy, you can say it.
Yeah, it was very sexy. And, you know, hot girl things on Aegis. And I didn't have one tribal or one EC. And because I had 4 votes on me going into an EC, because Bobby played his power on me because I pissed him off so much. But it is what it is, right? I knew going into an EC, I had at least 4 votes. Kevin even offered to send me money. So I think I had a threat level at some point. I did not have the autonomy sometimes. This game I definitely played very different than I normally always play.
Okay, just really briefly, Karen, Jackie had mentioned in a previous, like when she came out, that you had said that Kevin wasn't a threat and maybe it was her own confidence and she should be more confident in herself, that Kevin was not actually a big threat. Had Kevin not gone on the LRG, would you have taken him further in the game, or would you still have voted him out where you did? You have a minute.
I probably would have voted him out where I did. I said at the time that was the rocks round and everything. And at that time in the game, I'm not concerned about threats because once a threat goes, another one arises. And I wasn't ready for eyes to start looking at me. Not that they automatically would have, but the time would have come sooner. And I was still working with Kevin at that point. It wasn't a threat to me directly. And yeah, I'm okay having that blind arrogant confidence sometimes. Like you have to have that faith in your own game and not worry about how well someone else is going to be doing.
Well, congratulations to both of you. You both were in my top, I think my top 4 for hottest players in this game. So congrats for that. Either of you who win is a deserving winner. And I hope you guys have fun and thrive. Very sad I'm not here with you, but I'm never playing this game again. So you guys enjoy it while it lasts.
All right, well, Cats may have 9 lives, but Pages is bowing out after 2 of them. Oh, so this was the point in the night where Al was going to come on and deliver a question.
Al is right here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Unfortunately, there was a rock slide in the greater Maryland
Oh my God,
area,
shut up. I
hate
hate you.
Okay. So, Al, you now have 10 minutes and the floor is yours.
Hello, Al.
I don't want to say I triggered
I'm
a
so
rock slide,
sorry.
but-
No, I have like 2 full hands of camping stuff and I'm walking on a sidewalk by the road. Hi. Hello. I just came in second in my 2-day LRG of 30 people. Go me. I did not really play with either of you. To be honest, I'd like to say my mind is pretty much made up, but I have I don't know what questions have been asked because I've been at my own final tribal, those are called final tribals. This is an EC. I get that they're different, but whatever. Karen, in your opening speech, you said something along the lines of Al and I didn't get to work together, or Al and I couldn't, I don't know, something or other. And what you didn't mention was that you just kind of didn't give me the time of day in terms of strategy. We definitely could have worked together. You just kind of had already decided that you didn't want to. So I'd love to know why you made that decision, why you felt like I get that the people around you tended to have overpowered powers, and that's why you were able to kind of not talk to more people and get far. But I'd love to know why you decided that you didn't want to work with me at all.
Because every time I asked if you wanted to call, you left me on red and never responded. Like literally every time I reached out and was like, would you be around to call sometime? I never got a response, or it was 12 hours later and it just went back to chit chat. So it's not for lack of trying to start those conversations. But again, I've asked multiple times, a call never happened. You were having other conversations. Like, I do think that I did ask.
I'll be excited to go back into the chat and see that, because that's not my memory of it. Amy, you actually had your hands in a lot more things than I had been aware of. Sorry, my brain is just so non-existent at the moment. if I had stayed in after rocks, would you have at all been interested in working with me?
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to work with you the very start of the game, and unfortunately, you went out how you did.
Mhm.
I was shocked when you came back in. I was super excited to potentially build something that I thought you had slowly started at the beginning. That's why I always wanted to be honest. Had it been somebody other than the person we were voting, Kevin was in the game. Had it been somebody else, I potentially would have even considered flipping my vote and stuff like that. I definitely did not want you to be rocked out, because had you stayed, I 100% wanted to build something and potentially even go to the end.
Okay, sounds good. I still don't fully understand the decisions made for that vote. That's fine. Whatever. Congratulations to both of you. This would have been a much better jury speech if it wasn't after like 48 hours in the woods, being in the game the whole time and just being on very little sleep, and just I'm so kind of done as a human. Congrats to the both of you. I'm sorry that this is a garbage jury speech. Have a great time, and again, congrats to you both.
Al, you rock. Nothing more to say. With that, we'll move on to our next juror. I'm going to do nothing now but take a moment of silence. We'll take a deep sip of our drinks, because I'm pretty sure it's Fabi, and I'm also pretty sure he's not here. Fabi, if I'm wrong, please jump on and prove I'm wrong. If not, it technically in the Eastern time zone still is Fabi's birthday. So Prost, happy birthday to Fabi. Love you, dude. Cheers. But beyond that, don't think he's here right now. So we will move on to our next juror. And moving now to JJJ, juror Jackie. I can't pronounce her last name. Jackie, the floor is yours.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Congratulations to you both. I genuinely don't have any questions. If anyone says bitter juror tonight, I might be one of them. I'm not gonna lie. I guess what I just wanted to use the next 10 minutes was to give both of you. Oh, just kidding. Never mind. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna give you guys the next less than 5 minutes each. About something you wish you were asked, or at least just wanted extra time to explain. Because I'll be real, I really don't know where this jury is voting. Not that it should matter. But if you need an extra 5 minutes to just kind of get shit together, yeah, go for it. One of you fucking pick to go first.
I'll go. I want to talk more about the conversations I didn't have with people, and just a little bit about that also, and touch on the fact that with the fast pace of this game, like when I see that the conversations aren't happening, I get discouraged as well. And I can admit that is a fault in my game. But again, I still made the effort with a majority of the people and got the knowledge that I needed to. And if you feel like I didn't talk enough, I am sorry, but I feel I did talk enough to get me here and get what I needed to get here. Yeah, that's all I have for Rate the Second.
Jackie, I probably the only thing I mean, a lot of people that have played with me, not a lot of people in this game have played with me, except for a few. I'm normally honest, I'm blunt, I'm to the point. I may hold things back. I did want to work with you and Cody. I didn't give a fuck if you guys were a duo. Like, I'm not afraid to work with duos. I'm not afraid to work with OG alliances or whatever the case may be. Like, I want to break into that. I'm willing to work with people that I know are connected, as long as I can find something to work with. I really did try to work with you and Cody multiple times, where I kept coming to you, kept telling you guys the votes, and then for some reason you guys trusted Zach and Karen over me. And then until that Fabi power that was played and I had 4 votes, and then you put the 5th vote on me and I got the Aegis. At that point, I just knew that I couldn't build that relationship anymore. Like, I couldn't, I tried enough, and the bridge was burnt. just at that point seemed like you didn't give a fuck and you didn't want to talk. At least you don't want to talk to me. So I did try to build things with you and work with you, and I adore you and I love you. And that's all I want to say. Whether your vote goes to me or not, I did have fun talking to you in this game.
Thanks. I love you both. Quick clarification. I was more live, loving, laughing with Zach than Karen. The majority of the time I called Zach while he was drunk and we had fun with that. The randomness of my votes towards the end was just because you're right, I did not give a fuck anymore. And my laughing of it was I knew you were gonna win the Aegis, so there was no I wasn't gonna vote anyone else and start a fight with anyone else. You and I had already been in a fight. I might as well just throw a vote on you and it's not gonna matter. It was shits and giggles. I couldn't help it. I was drunk and it was funny at the time. That's all I have to say. I'm yielding the rest of my time for LJ to ramble about a different juror and maybe perhaps say my name correctly, but that's a dream that won't come true.
As I've said oftentimes, you should never make fun of people for mispronouncing things. It means they've read them first, and we as a society should encourage reading. I'm Canadian too. I'm not going to be just able to pronounce your name. It's not a thing that'll happen. So normally we go from this person to Jackie with the weather, but we have now started with Jackie from the weather, and we're going to Mr. Nine Trulies and butter in the sink himself, Zach. Zach, it is your 10 minutes. Do with it what you will.
The worst part of that is the butter was not just in the sink, it was also on the counter, and that's a different story for another time. I just want to say congratulations to you two. I just love that two people who I worked so closely with in this game is oftentimes felt like on different ends of the tightrope. But I loved that you're both here together. I feel like I should be in one of those two chairs, but that's okay. That's fine. Also, I paid $6 for these tiny hands. I'm wearing them everywhere. I have two questions for you guys, preferably to answer them at the same time so I don't have to think too hard. The first question is, what juror played a vital role in you sitting here and why? And my second question is, what have you learned about yourself during this season, during this All-Star season, that you are going to take with you, whether it's into future games or even like into your personal life? What have you learned? What's your self-discovery about you? And we'll start with Amy.
I think the juror probably sitting there that I can take the most credit. It sounds kind of weird, but Kevin and I were not the closest until the very end, but he was I felt honest to me throughout the game, and it looked like he wanted to work with me, and he kept telling me he was with me. I did not trust him because he is such a powerful player, and I feel like he could lie through his fucking teeth. So he can only say if he's truthful or not, but it felt truthful. So building that and making like a final two with him, he was the only one I made a final two with. And I worked so hard to potentially even get him in a final three when he wasn't even in the fucking game. So much so I almost threw my vote on Cody while they were going to be flowing their votes on Kevin with the hope that he had money left over and he could maybe come back from an allergy. If not, it was going to make the quiz even easier for me. So that's where I was. Going into what this game has taught me, I'm very secure in who I am. I don't give a fuck if people don't like me. It is what it is. I mean, plenty of people kind of bashed me or threw things at me or, called me out. I mean, I've had several fights. I use that loosely, fights in this game. Cody kind of called me out, still wanted to work with Cody, I still wanted to work with Cody even after the forum call, and he was kind of yelling at me. I let him simmer down one fucking EC, and then I came back to him and I even apologized and to build that bond and say, I'm not trying to get personal. I love you. Like, let's squash it. Fabi, I didn't do that with. We fought, and I was like, fuck you. You don't talk to me, so I don't give a fuck. So yeah, that's how I am. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to try to have fun my entire life and live my best life. That's why I'm sitting in a hotel room right now in New York City doing this EC. So.
Period. Karen?
I would say I have like two answers for the jurors, and there's the expected one, which would be you, for the obvious reasons, and then the unexpected reasons, like getting your bounty when you left and you were rich as fuck. Like, yeah, I cashed out on that. That was greatly beneficial. but again, not anything directly with working with you, but just the connections that you had and being able to trust that and talk with you when you were sober before you went and got drunk with other people. Like that was really good. And then the unexpected one and kind of the counterintuitive one would be Cody, because we really did start talking and like I really thought that there could be schemes at the end. And even though he ended up needing to try to vote me or just trying to vote me whether he needed to, like I still don't think without those conversations with him, it would have played out the way it did in the end. And what I got from this, it's okay to not be the main character. It's okay to chill. It's just a game. At the end of the day, we're here to have fun. And yeah, have fun with chilling.
Absolutely. Congratulations again. You both absolutely deserve it. I would love to pass it back to Jackie with the weather, but I guess I'm gonna pass it to LJ with the sports.
Well, unfortunately, this is one of these games where you don't get a score update at halftime or at the end of the third quarter. You only get the score at the end of the game, unfortunately. Second wardrobe change of the day for those keeping track. So now that we've had Zach, we'll move to someone who has the same tiny hands, but also a big, big heart, a big player in this game. And he is a CrossFitter who will now cross-examine the two of you. Kevin, 10 minutes is yours.
Oh my gosh. Hi, I've missed you both. The allergy was so much fun. Okay, so first of all, I just want to hi Brandon. I just want to congratulate both of you because I worked with both of you. I think you're both amazing women. Well done. Because I unexpectedly had to go away, I didn't get to really like do necessarily what I wanted to do. And so I know that probably you similarly didn't get to do what you were probably thinking of doing in that end game. So if you could each just kind of explain what your general idea was. Like my general idea was if we let Cody get to the end, like Cody's gonna have too many friends in the jury. Can't let Cody get to the end. Like general idea, right? Like that's my general, like we got to figure out a way to get Cody out. And then I don't know, I'll beat him in the quiz. I don't know. But like that was kind of my general thing. And then of course that wasn't what ended up happening. So just kind of what was your general plan going into that end game, assuming that everything was going to go the way it had been going and I didn't have to step back. Let's go in alphabetical order. Let's start with Amy.
Honestly, I didn't have a plan. Like we had the final five and then me and you talked so closely and you, except for that idol hunt that we kept going on, like I enjoyed all of our conversations, except for that be down that fucking rabbit hole every time they posted a tree mail. But otherwise, like we had a conversation at like 6 a.m. and we're like, okay, let's plan this out next 5. Like you're never up that early. And I was getting ready for work and I still used all of that information that we discussed to move not only myself, but you further as far as I could. And I debated whether I was going to vote for Cody, which I thought maybe I could get Cody out. The plan was with his, when he told me about his thing and he wanted to switch to Karen, he told me he was going to be automatically out at Final Four. I actually thought that was perfect because I can get Zach and him out with your vote and my vote and call it quits. Then it was going to be me, you, and Karen. And that to me was the ideal final 3. So I had to smooge away and change things when he stayed. And then I still debated whether I was going to vote for him over you, even with you being in the LRG, hoping that you had extra money and then he would still go and it'd still be me, you, and Karen. Because I did think besides Zach, I thought he was a big threat.
Okay, Karen.
I'm so sorry, Daddy Kevin, but it absolutely would have been Aegis madness. Like I was already thinking about the mental gymnastics about when you would have bid, when you would have waited, how much, and like you trying to get you 4th or 5th, because as hot as that final 3 would have been, you would have given me the most run for my money, I think, in the quiz. And I hadn't studied at that point either, so was very concerned about those odds. Yeah, I was fully anticipating some sort of flipperoo, and that's why I also wanted to keep that relationship with Cody and really like talking those schemes with him because it was creeping up to that point. But then you got swept away. And there was still that little bit of like, did he not? What was he doing? He never clarified with us for sure. Okay. But like, yeah, it was gonna be a rat race at the end, which we talked about when it was just old school anyway. Like, and you just bid at 4, but I was like, no, we're gonna do those mental gymnastics around early, and like Zach's about to have a fuck ton of money. Like, let's waste it. Why not? You know?
Yeah. The other thing that I wanted to ask you both about, it is an all-stars game. We've all played this before. And like what lessons you learned last time or the last times, and how did you incorporate those lessons, and like what did you learn and how did you use that? And we started with Amy last time. Let's go with Karen first.
I learned a lot, like just the overall structure of the game. You learn the nuance of it. You learn what is plausible. You learn when you can call bullshit, how to call bullshit, and then just the sense, you get that itch. But also like the last times I've played, I've gotten best use of power. So like it was heartbreaking not using my powers. I wanted to use my phase 2 at one point just to use a fucking power because this is power grab. But I had to play with that intent and know I needed money later. And that was the thing, even round 1. It was a disappointment that I was never going to know by 9 o'clock who the vote was, but I would have money, and knowing how important that is, and then seeing how important that is when you actually get to the final 3. Like, that was the biggest takeaway, just knowing how to be smart with the money and play that aspect of the game as well.
Let's be honest, I didn't learn a lot my last season because I went out pretty quickly and I was tied to people that I love to death. But in the game, I got tied to them because I know them. So I was trying to avoid that. I was trying to avoid potentially being pegged with. I didn't know if people knew about me and Paige being real life friends, meeting up. I definitely thought that they were gonna push me and Hutch, if not me and Stoner, because we were all in the same season. So I was very cautious of that type of relationship. But no, I learned a fucking ton because 1, I didn't know about the quiz. 2, I didn't know it was fucking that many questions, and I thought I was never gonna make it there. I really didn't know what money was for. I'm not gonna lie, like I read the rules, but I didn't make it that far last time. So I feel like I was playing from like scratch all over again because I definitely learned. I felt like one of the newer players still trying to catch up because I hadn't made it that far. So I learned a ton this season versus last season.
Excellent, excellent. Okay. Those are my 2 questions. Again, I just want to tell you, you're both amazing. You're both wonderful. I can't talk shit about either one of you. And I would be saying that even if I was around and you voted me out because I was there and I deserved it. So no hard feelings. Love you both. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kevin. I heard talk shit somewhere in that last answer, and my Cody bat signal went off. So let's now go to the man who is the king of making it to phase 3, but has yet to sit in one of the 2 seats that you 2 have acquired. Cody, you have 10 minutes, and the floor is yours.
I will graciously accept the role of Janelle in Power Grab, and nobody can take that from me. Also, before we get started, Lex was who you came up with, the both of you. Lex, out of everybody. So I have 2 statements that I want to kind of generalize about your game, that I want the both of you to kind of expand on that has not already been spoken about, so we're not reiterating the same thing. Amy, you were intentionally left out of the vote quite a few times during the beginning because people perceived you working with a Hutch or working with the Stoner, so that people didn't make you choose a side, but that put you in the middle. And it almost looked as if luck was on your side the majority of the game, to where you were playing the middle so perfectly that nobody was looking at you, and people knew going into phase 2 that you were playing the middle, that you were with Kevin kind of playing the middle, the old school, the new school. I just kind of want you to reiterate that in your own way, like what your thought process was. Were you trying to play the middle? Did you want it to seem like that? Were you actively actually being left out of the votes? Or did you know what was going on in phase one?
So no, definitely in the beginning, it wasn't like I was trying to play the middle. I normally pick sides, so to speak, or at least several people that I want to ride it out with. And then I will go to rocks for them. I will do whatever we have to for them. And if I go down swinging, I go down swinging, at least for those select very few people. But this game is a fast-paced game. I wanted to talk to everybody. The only connection I really was trying to build was the biggest one was Zach. That didn't work out for me when he did his public vote and he sent his will to Aaron. So I was like, fuck you, buddy. So that kind of changed it up. I was surprised that people wanted to not let me in on the vote because they thought I was going to go with Stoner or Kevin or vice versa. Like I probably would have voted for either one of them at that time. And then I did become more aware or self-aware into the game because people started to pull me in because either they were concerned about the people I was working with fictitiously or they wanted to, bring in an extra number. Either way, I was happy with it.
You also mentioned, I think it was during Paige's questions, about your threat level in this game. Do you think that, I know coming into it, you had sort of a reputation of the season that you played. Coming into it this season, do you think you lowered your threat level a little bit too much to where you were kind of too far under the radar?
Cody, I didn't even know I had a reputation until you said something and you called me out. Like, I don't even know what that reputation is. So I didn't I really don't know what was said about me. Like, I go into these games, every game is new to me. And I honestly did not know I had a reputation so much. When you called me out, I went to Kevin and I said, wait, are people talking mad shit about me? Like, cause I play these games. I don't try to get personal or anything. So, I didn't know what that reputation was. And I did truly go to him. I don't know if I have a big threat level or not. I just be me, right? So I didn't want to push a lot of votes. I didn't want to take a huge charge because I saw all the people that were doing that and they were going out left and right. So I was okay taking a back seat, especially phase one, because your girl wanted to get to phase two because I don't know what it's like. So that's what I did.
And then that's pretty much all I have for you. Thank you so much, Amy. Karen, my question for you, statement is perception is reality in this game and actions speak a lot louder than words. And despite you saying on numerous occasions that you wanted to play a very fluid game with people from New School, the actions in this game kind of say otherwise. Even though we had those conversations, based off of your answers tonight, you did intend or wish, if Kevin was still in the game, to go further with Kevin. Almost insinuating a you, Amy, Zach, Kevin final four in that situation with an all old school. So I feel like New School had no chance based off of this power dynamic that was set up not by me, not by Jackie, and dealt a very unfair hand.
I might have misspoke or misheard, but if Kevin had stayed around, I would have gone for him. Like, that's what I meant when I said just get in at final five, final four. And even then would have been open to it. My heart wanted to be more open, but the information that I was getting and the paths that were opening up, if I did open up and try to do something, my position would have fallen, is how it seemed to me. And that's why I didn't act on that fluidity. While I wanted it and wish it could have been more open, I don't think that would have been smart for me in the end.
Okay. I'll leave the rest to be addressed after final EC. Best of luck to the both of you. My vote has been decided based off of our questions tonight. I did not come in shut off. So, oh, yes, Amy.
Can I just clarify? I was not technically old school. I'm old, but I wasn't old school. I ended up working with them because I kind of had to. But I'm not old school.
You were in the power dynamic that was old school, new school. You were associated with the middle, I will say.
Yes. Especially- Yeah. but
So
I just wanted
for that to, for someone to play the middle and to end up at the end is a testament of itself. So congratulations to the both of you. And may the best player in the final two win.
Damn, that's a good one. I wish I had a line like that, but I'm also never eliminated this close to the end. So boo earns for me. Thank you very much, Cody. All right. We have now concluded. You have received questions from 10 of your 11 jurors, and the other one is on a planet so lovely you could not imagine if you win this game. So I think that puts us in a great spot to wrap up and now go to the closing statements. Each of you will have 10 minutes to deliver your closing statements, and we have randomly selected the order that you will go in beforehand. Karen, you were selected to go first, so you will go first. Amy, of course, will go second. So if you're, give me the thumbs up, Karen, we'll move to your closing statement at your readiness.
Let's do this.
All righty.
Okay, so I didn't prepare a closing speech and now I'm really nervous, but I think that I came in here and played a really thoughtful, intentional game. And while it was quieter than others, I saw the people playing the loud games were getting sniped, getting power fucked, and I knew it was going to be okay to sit back and trust the process. I think that I was involved in a lot of schemes and knew what was happening, even if it wasn't directly in my control or my say what ended up happening. And I wasn't intentionally left out of things that I didn't know of. Like, I was in on the conversations enough to know what I needed to do for my gameplay. I was able to be calculated with my powers and know to think ahead that I needed that money, that I was going to get far enough to need money at this point. And I rolled with the punches and was able to just keep moving forward and try to keep the options open, even though that's not how the gameplay ended up playing out. Again, wish it could have been more chaotic. I did not start the sides either, although I fully played into one, which is not against, or which is against my usual gameplay, but it worked and I can't knock that. I'm sorry for those that feel that it was lacking, but I think that it shows how calculated it was and that I didn't need to be a driving force to still know where the tides were going and get myself here in the end. And on top of that, once it was getting down to the crunch time and it was on me to do what needed to be done in the quiz, I studied my fucking ass off. Like, I made sure that I was going to lock in my spot in this fucking final two. And I did make the conscious decision to bring a woman here too. Like, that is important. I'm really proud that Amy is here also. And we're both badass bitches who deserve to be here, whether we played under the radar or we weren't the biggest, flashiest players, or we aren't the real winners of Power Grab All-Stars. One of us is going to be the winner. And I think I did deserve it and ended up playing the game the most. Like, we might not have been the loudest players, but I played the game with the most intent sitting here at the final two. I don't want to go round by round again. You all were important parts. I do value all of your time and thank you for being here. And I just hope that it was enough. And thank you again. I don't want to waste more time.
Thank you very much, Karen. Very much appreciated. And we will now move to, I'm sorry if you hear playing in the background. We will now move to Amy in the Big Apple, who chose purposely not to do this from the location of Plains. So do with that what you will. Amy, you have 10 minutes and the floor is yours.
I don't think I'm going to need the full 10 minutes, so I'm going to start off with apologizing to all the people that did show up tonight for the jury, or because it is my fault that it is tonight versus last night. Like I said, we were supposed to do it yesterday. I had plenty of time to fly to New York. Unfortunately, my son is a fucking ding dong and lost his ID. We missed our flight and I had to reroute everything. So apologies there. Second, I went into this game actually not having high expectations for myself. I was hoping I was just going to have fun. I'm always honored when people invite me to all-star seasons. I don't see myself as an all-star. Maybe others do. I go into these games one game at a time, one day at a time. I think I had to stay fluid. Like Cody said, I played in the middle. It wasn't intentional. I was just trying to keep all options open. I was trying to stay very fluid. I was trying to talk to as many people as I could, build those connections, and then eventually try to lock in with some people. I ended up locking in with Karen, Zach, and Kevin when Paige went out. From there, we kind of wrote it out, but I still wanted to build those connections with Cody and Jackie because I still wanted to keep that as an option. I did want to keep things. I didn't want to have a super strong power alliance that nothing else changed. I was constantly going to you guys and giving you guys information, trying to work with you guys, but you guys did not want to believe anything I said, it felt like. So no matter as much as I tried to work with other people, sometimes I was pushed in that other group. I did not think I was going to do as well as I did on the quiz. I don't have time to study. I am super busy. You guys know my life. I travel nonstop. I'm working nonstop. I maybe studied for 30 minutes before this quiz. So a lot of that was lucky guesses. A lot of that was things I read on fandom, wiki fandom, whatever it's called. And also banking all the money I did bank, because I did go into it not telling people exactly how much money I had. I think I was like $5 short of Karen. So I did have a little bit more than I had told people. And that was partly because not using my powers. One thing that I haven't disclosed, and maybe Zach has told people, the vote out of him was probably one of the hardest, but it was the best move for me. Not only did he have the most money, he locked himself in winning that final quiz, and he would potentially have taken me, I don't know, but he also told me I was his number one again for the trust that night before I voted him out, which I felt horrible. But then after that, I saw that he sent me the jury bump or will or whatever it's called. I'm still learning the language, which was shocking, but that just goes to my testament of potentially working with these people and talking with them and unfortunately cutting some people at the right time. So thank you all. I love and adore you all, no matter if you vote for me or don't vote for me. You guys all have made this season amazing.
Thank you, Amy. To piggyback, this was an amazing season to watch, to host, to be a part of. We had a fucking phenomenal cast, and I'm so sad, really, to see it end. I would stay up watching you on forum calls for as long as you wanted. We'll now get to the voting portion. Tonight, you want to see your name on that parchment. Jurors, you are voting for a winner, which is another reason why calling this an elimination ceremony is kind of like, but yes, that's a thing. You'll get called into a voting room, deliver your vote, and the reasons for doing so, and then we will declare a winner of this amazing, amazing season of All Stars. Jeremy?
Yeah, Megan's gonna pull you into the room. Be ready. Please be ready. Don't sit there. Don't make us wait 5 minutes for you to press one button. It happens every season. And yeah, Megan will pull you in. We're gonna pull in Hutch and Al first because they are welcome to play PGB. Everybody else that played this season off camera, on mute, let the people that are playing the PGB final play the PGB final. Fair enough?
Thank you, Jeremy.
Cool.
I go over now.
Yep, go ahead. Grab Hutch and Al first.
Can I come on cam?
I guess.
PGB, baby.
We'll just kill time until those two vote.
Y'all, I can't come on cam because I got cammed off.
Of course, does later. You're on production for prime time work.
I'm gonna mute that too.
Where is Slater?
All I can say is I hope
You should be good, Slater.
Okay.
OJ, you're muted. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Al, you are driving?
Yeah, I can stop at any time.
Okay, yeah, I'll just... one thing I would say is, Al, you're probably going to get... Have you given your vote already and confessional? Okay, so you might... Yeah, you you might want to pull over because you're probably going to have to press buttons to do that and move into that room, and then afterwards you will go into Kahoot where you're going to press buttons to deliver answers. So
Yep, I'm just trying to get to the shopping center in about like half a mile.
Where in the world is Carmen? San Diego. What else do we have? Lawrence. Who in here has won one of your Brant steals? None of us? Holy motherfuck! You've run fucking 18 Brant
No,
steals in the past
wait,
3.5
I didn't get a
days, and we all
question.
suck?
That's why I said I don't know. I'm sorry.
I won.
Megan won. I know that.
I think Haley won one. No, maybe not. Other Haley.
Hey, El, what are we playing? I'm sorry, I was voting whenever you were explaining the rules.
Wait, I won what?
Hutch, if you go to the PGB final group chat, which you are in, it'll be like 2 under the jury chat. That will have a link to the Kahoot we're playing. You can log into the Kahoot there. We will be doing a Survivor trivia round first. I'll explain the rules for it. Lawrence fist pumping notably, as he should. And then after that, we will move into a second game to determine the winner. No matter what, the second game will determine the winner one way or another, but it will take 2 games.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Can I also point out my parent is not playing, so that's good.
Lawrence, thank you very much for pointing that
That's my
out.
goal for the entirety of PPG, but make sure Brandon didn't play, and it worked.
Yeah, you have 2 lives, right?
Now that we can go through a recap and run through of the effective placements of where we're at right now. We go into the final PGB with. Wait, it was deleted from the thing, but I have it somewhere else. Shit, I have it in the wrong place. I believe Edmo has 1 life. Esteban has 1 life. Hutch has 1 life. Lawrence has 2 lives. Lindsay has 1 life. Al has 3 lives, and Slater has 2 lives. It will be possible for you to lose more than 1 life in a game, obviously, or else, this would never end. And as much as I love you, this needs to fucking end. So. Also, one thing I'll say.
I'll just finished voting, so y'all are about to be able to get started.
And Hutch has already voted. Excellent.
Wait, so who had just 1? I forgot. Who had just 1 life?
1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have 5 people, which means that perfect. We have Al here now. Al, are you pulled over? I don't want to break any laws or be responsible for that. Thank you. Awesome. So for the first game, we'll be playing Survivor Trivia. There are questions from seasons 41 through 29. They will go in reverse chronological order. And the 4 people of the 5 of you who have the lowest scores will lose 1 life this round. So if you only have
29?
Yes.
The top 3 or just the first person overall?
So only the first person will not lose a life this game. All the rest of you will lose a life this game. Are you all logged into the Kahoot? I think you are. Can you see my screen?
Oh, yep.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
So is everyone prepared to start this Kahoot?
Yep.
If you aren't, too late. Brandon, also too late. Hate to see it. All right, we're starting the Kahoot now. What is Xander Candy?
I don't know.
What is Xander Candy?
I stopped watching after season 40, so I don't know.
What? Why?
It's chicken and veggies, y'all.
Lawrence is correct.
My ass.
I stopped watching after season 40 because my parents took up the TV, and I don't have permaflex, so that's why.
I never thought I would see Edward winning. That's crazy.
Edmo in the lead. He knows the Xander candy. Edmo loves Xander.
And candy.
Who said chaos is a ladder? Missy, Lauren, Karishma, or Jamal? Who said chaos is a ladder? Season 39.
I don't know.
It is indeed Karishma.
That's, no one got it. Oh, yeah, no one.
Slater was the
Slater
was
got
the
it.
only one
Doesn't
to
really
get that
change the
question.
scoring.
I like how you said 41 through 29 and then just skipped 40.
My back's turned like
Because there's only 10. There's only 10 questions. There will not be a question from every season. But they go in reverse chronological order.
Come on, give
All
me
right.
a season that I know the answer.
Wait, is there? Can someone else who's a co-host? Oh, okay, the background noise is gone. On to the next one. Which is not
Yes.
one of John Hennigan's ring names. What is not one of John Hennigan's ring names? Johnny Nitro, Johnny Blaze, Johnny Mundo, or all of them are his ring names?
Like what?
No, you got that. Oh yeah.
Abraham Lincoln. There are many others, but all of those are John
President of
Hennigan's ring
Slamtown.
names.
Mayor of Slamtown.
Hey, mine didn't.
Mayor of
register, but I
Slamtown.
took that
Mayor
right.
of Slamtown was never an official name of John Hennigan in the ring. It was more a nickname from
Oh,
one of his
in the
names.
ring.
That would
Oh,
not have counted.
for
Yes.
sure.
So Edmo, obviously on the wrestling question has kept the lead. On to the next one.
Al
Come on,
also
give me
got the
question.
question.
Color was the fire station Wendell was originally supposed to be at for the final four fire making challenge. Purple, orange,
Oh.
red, or green.
Oh.
All right.
Oh,
The
that's
correct
super
answer is
sexy of us.
orange.
We all got
of you
wrong.
no one got
got
it.
wrong. This was a legendary moment in which he
I
got the
know.
orange because orange had lost so often. He asked to be swapped over to purple, and his competitor obliged.
Oh.
Real cool girl.
Edmo,
Swap.
That's
They,
what I'm
they
cool.
swap
Edmo
places.
keeps the lead. Sorry, can someone else, hopefully Haley, identify who the on and mute
I
loud
just
noise
got
is?
it.
And
I
hopefully-
just
Yeah,
got it.
I
You're
was
good.
just
You're
about
good.
to mention
Thank
that loud
Thank
noise in the background.
Thank you. Thank you. On to the next one. Who had someone strip to show they did not have an idol / advantage? This is from
Oh,
Heroes, Healers,
finally,
and
the
Hustlers.
first question. I got an answer right. I probably
is
get one
indeed
question right.
The FLer Ellen Ball, who was very
no.
fucking intense. Very, very fucking intense about this. He had JP strip. So those of you who answered
I almost
JP,
put
you know,
JP.
you remembered something. And Al moves
I'm
into
still
the
last. Oh my
lead.
God. I got a question right.
Alrighty. On to the next one. Who received the most votes at the Advantage Get-In Final Six Tribal? Sari, Sarah, Poizan, or Aubrey? Who received the most votes at the Advantage Get-In Final
Oh
Six Tribal?
shit.
Finally, I got one question right.
Y'all, this is an epic moment in Survivor.
All I
Sarah
know, all
received
I care about Sari, I don't care about Sarah Lucina as a person or a
received-
Survivor
Sarah had
player.
3.
Okay, very
From
fine.
Sari,
Your
Ty, and
lack of
from-
your lack of
I'm
caring about
Aubrey.
Sarah has cost you a point in this game
That's fine.
potentially. Lawrence is, but Al is still on
Still
top. Al is still on
last.
top. It perhaps didn't. On to the next question. Who said, "That's not a
Okay.
test, that's a betrayal"? This is from Millennials versus Gen X. Adam,
Oh, babe,
Will,
I
Jay, or
quote
Ken?
this all the time. I've watched
Yes,
that
I got-
moment,
I got a
that
second
exact
question.
clip. The way he does his
Klein,
hands with the quotation
when
marks.
It's a Adam Klein, also my favorite player. So
I'm still
it
last.
looks like
What the
Al
kitsch?
Al
What did you get
has jumped
answered?
out. Al has
I'm still
jumped out to a
last.
commanding lead. Al has jumped out to a commanding lead. Next
You
question.
sound really sad about that.
He had a bug
That's 'cause he
crawl in
is.
their ear.
Um,
Anna, Alicia, Jennifer, or Debbie? Who famously had a bug crawl in their ear? This is Brains versus Brawn versus Beauty 2.
oh.
Literally only know this because
Oh
of Mike
my
Bloom's
God. Got wrong.
wish list podcast.
Well, I was hoping that people wouldn't get it from that, but yes, Jennifer Lanzetti I think the most grotesque moment in Survivor
didn't pay
history is
attention.
the image of the bug crawling out of her ear. And of course, the points we have Al probably can't be caught right now. You hate to see it. On to the next question.
Shut up.
Question 9. How many pieces did the final 7 immunity puzzle have? This is from Second Chances. That's the only clue you'll get. 4, 5, 11, or 17.
Oh my god.
Wow. All of you got
forgot.
that. Spencer.
It was the
pre-game.
Spencer puzzle. I thought it was 4
I
pieces. That's my bad. I knew exactly what the puzzle was. I just couldn't.
Jeff
I can't
actually said
visualize.
it.
Puzzle that wasn't used in Spencer's original season. The puzzle was given a second chance.
No one got it, so
and
that's
it was a
fine.
5-piece puzzle that he got in 3.5 seconds. He pre-gamed the puzzle with a podcaster who thought that it would be included because of second chances. Last for this Kahoot.
I'm still dead last.
What did John Rocker tell Wes his last name was?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I wouldn't have known it was spelled like that, but sure.
Wetland and John Wetland. What makes this funny is John Wetland was also a famous closer who honestly has a worse outside of sports story than John Rocker. It's really bad. So we've now reached the end of this. We all know who wins. Al wins. Al does not lose a life, so Al will have 3 lives. And going into Al will have 3 lives going into I'm going to stop sharing quickly.
Slater has 1 left now. Edward and Hutcher.
Slater, yes, and Lawrence is in. So are we down to only 3 people left? I believe.
Yes,
We're down
so
to Al.
Al has 3 lives, and then Lawrence and Slater each got 1.
All right. So you know what it is. You know what's coming. What's coming is Funky Battleship. DM me the coordinates on the board that you would like. Al, you have 3 spaces you can select. Everyone else will only have 1. The order has already been randomized.
Yes.
This is the last game. This is for all the marbles.
You want us to DM you on where? On Discord?
Any preferably yes.
Okay.
Stay for all friend members.
Lawrence, I absolutely promise to get it right this time.
You should probably unshare your screen so you don't show it.
Wait, I'm only sharing the screen that has the I'm only sharing the Funky Battleship screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see nothing.
Okay. I have Lawrence's.
Doesn't matter.
I have Slater's. And Al will have 3 to give me. Al has given me 2. And Al will hopefully give me a 3rd. Al has given me a 3rd. Beautiful, lovely. We have a randomized order. The order started with Edmo, who isn't here. Esteban, who isn't here. Hutch, who isn't here. Lawrence. Lawrence is the starting member for this. Lawrence, shoot away.
8-6.
A6 is a miss. We are on next to Slaterade. It's not okay. Good. Sorry. Give me
the color to text.
Give me a half second. Give me a half second. I'm just changing the color here. Fuck. Okay. Sorry. I'll just keep the color highlighted. But you said what, Slater?
A2.
You said A2. A2 is also a miss. Okay, good. Wow. Why did it show up for that, but okay. Just remember that A6 is also a miss.
You have to change that
A2 is a
one.
miss.
See, the A is now there. If you color changer, if you're just highlighting the 1 up where you would normally find it next to the bold italics underlined.
Perfect.
It wasn't there when
Thank
you selected everything.
Perfect. Al, go crazy.
C3.
Alrighty, C3. C3 is going to be a miss. Back to the top of the round. Which is Lawrence, yes.
Oh wait, am I going again?
Lawrence, can we have a guess?
Oh, I thought I asked, am I going again? And I didn't get an answer.
I said,
Alright.
I mean, I said yeah.
Sorry, you're good. Yeah, it's you, Lawrence.
A5.
A5. A5, I believe, is a miss. So we have a miss there again. Alrighty, so on to Slaterade.
Miss, yes.
Let's go for B4.
B4 is a fun thing to get. B4 is the musket misfire. Your next shot is going to be randomized by me. You have hit the musket misfire.
That does sound fun.
On next to Al.
E3.
E3. E3 is a miss.
Okay.
All right, back to Lawrence.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yes.
A um A3?
A3 is a miss. Alrighty, on to Slater.
My randomized vote.
So I pre-randomized the first one, so nobody yell at me. The pre-randomized first one is hilarious. That I did pre-randomize D4, and we do know what D4 is. Unfortunately, Slater has
Fuck that.
Not his own. I
self-eliminated.
didn't have to.
Bullshit.
So Slater
Rigged.
literally, Slater, I promised I pre-randomized everything beforehand for the first one.
Mhm.
Slater self-eliminated. We are now
Slater
on
slept
to
through an
Al.
EC again.
The winner of Power Grab Bag will be Al or Lawrence. Al, it is your shot.
What would y'all be between them two?
E1.
Lawrence, your turn.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, A oh, 4.
Taking out one of Al's lives. Al has 2 lives remaining. Al, it's your turn.
B6.
B6. Keep guessing. That's a miss. Lawrence, back to you.
E1.
Say it again.
Can you repeat?
I said B1.
B1. B1 is also a miss. Al, your shot.
D as in David 2.
D as in David 2. Well, dang, that's a miss. Lawrence, your shot.
B2.
You said B2?
Yeah, B2.
Al, your shot.
B2 is not a miss.
Wait, wait. No, B2, you got Al again. Okay.
Oh
Al
shit!
has
Not
one
a
life left.
B1v1. Holy shit. Okay.
Al has 1 life left. Al, it's your shot.
C
No, no, no,
Um,
no. My turn. My turn.
Wait, it's Al's shot.
oh,
Sorry.
yeah. I was confused.
E5.
E5, and I'm happy to crown Al the Power Grab Bag champion of season 10.
Hey, that was a close one
Al,
though. Good job, Lawrence. Congrats,
Al,
Al.
you rock. Lawrence, you came extremely close again. Let me make sure that I didn't fuck you over again. I did not. Thank the fucking gods. All right, Al, congratulations
Al, you actually get the role
on the
now.
win.
You get the role.
Yep, Al
Period.
gets the roll.
Thank you.
What was
Thank you very
what was the
much.
last one for Al?
C5.
Al,
Yeah, I was gonna keep guessing, and I was gonna keep going in order. for
So
each letter.
congratulations again to Al, but we do have all the votes. Are you good to go, LJ? I guess we can talk about Al's
1, 2,
victory
3.
until you're ready.
Give me a half second. Talk about it for like 10 seconds.
All right, Al, you won. Al, you won. I gotta say it for 10 seconds, right?
No, you won.
Congratulations, Al. And thank you for everybody that participated all season. Thank you. I mean, Slater and Lawrence, especially, you were there for more of them than you weren't. So thank you very much. It helped out a lot.
LG changing.
What the fuck, LG?
Third
For
outfit
this moment, but
change.
Slater self-eliminates himself.
Dead.
But on that note,
I'm gonna drive now. Okay.
yep, go for it. On that note, if everybody who's not one of the final two, the jury or an LJ, wants to get off cam, they can, and we will begin to read the final votes. So everybody that played the season can come back.
Alrighty. If anyone has any PP, I'm just kidding, but I wanted to give Brandon a shot to laugh a little if he's here still. Okay. Alrighty. We have tallied the votes. We are ready to declare a winner of Power Grab Season 10 All-Stars. Tonight, we have 11 votes in the urn. 11 votes. Tonight, you want to see your name? This is a vote for a winner. And we'll start with the first vote. Is for Karen. Second vote is for Amy. Third vote, Karen. Fourth vote, Karen. That's 3 votes Karen, 1 vote Amy. Next vote, Amy. Next vote, also Amy. We're back to tied. 3 votes Aaron, 3 votes Karen, 3 votes Amy, rather. You too many rhyming names. Alrighty. Next vote is Amy. Next vote is Karen. So we're once again tied. 4 votes apiece. You need 6 votes to win. The next vote is Karen. Next vote is Amy. And this came down to one vote for the winner of Power Grab Season 10 All-Stars. The winner of Power Grab Season 10 All-Stars, congratulations, is Amy. Amy, you have won.
You two fucking killed that game. Holy shit. I'm so glad.
Congratulations, you both.
Congratulations, Amy. You have won Power Grab. Do you have any words to close us out with on this final EC?
I am stunned. I think I'm also stunned because I don't know if the jury bump did that and forcing Fabi's vote to go to me, which is kind of poetic if so. And in my mind, I love it. So thank you all. You guys are fucking amazing. And I'm shocked and I'm honored that I even got to the end. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Karen. You've played this game 3 times now. You killed it. You made it to the end. Just one vote away. So with that, season's over. We'll do 2 more seasons this year. Don't know when yet. We will do a reunion for this season. We'll start that in about 10 minutes, but I'm going to kill this Zoom. I'll send y'all another link. And yeah, that's pretty much it, unless somebody else has something else they want to say.
I just want to say congrats to you guys. Thank you for putting it your all this season. Your dedication and effort was not unnoticed. Thank you so much.
Thank you very